Hey kids, welcome to the children's sermon. I'm sure that you've had a wonderful Christmas with presents and candy and all kinds of fun things. And now Christmas is over and we're about to get into a new year. Now, you know what we've celebrated with Christmas. It wasn't just presents and candy and fun, it was something about the birth of a baby. Now, behind me, you see the bookcase in my office, and you see where I point my finger, this little blue and white thing. You see it? That's the announcement of a birth. I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna show it to you here. See? There's a little stork and a baby, and it says here, Frans Nicolaas. So when my parents got me, I was born on April 15th, 1978. It says, when they got me, they asked someone to make this. It's like, hey, our son is born, our first child. And have this now ever since. And when Jesus was born, something similar was going on. We have the announcement of the birth of Jesus in the Bible, right? We have heard it. And today we're going to read a little story right after the birth of Jesus. And that's when Jesus is going to the temple. His parents bring him because Jesus is a baby. He cannot really walk himself, right? So he is being brought to the temple. And that's when he meets two people. And here I have the story of the day. You see the old man with the beard? And then in the other picture, you see a lady holding the baby. Well, that lady is Mary. And the old man with the beard, his name is Simeon. Shall I read it? Mary and Joseph took baby Jesus to the temple. There they met a godly man named Simeon. Simeon took Jesus in his arms and praised God. He knew Jesus was the Savior of all people. Then Simeon blessed Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. There was someone else in the temple. It's an older lady. See, she has her hands up. She also has gray hair. You can see she's real old. And she then holds the baby. Mary says, "Here you go. You can hold the baby for a while." So her name is Anna. A prophet named Anna lived at the temple. She prayed to God every day. Sound a little bit like our deacons. They also pray to God every day. When Anna saw baby Jesus, she thanked God. She told everyone in the temple, "This is God's Son, the Savior of the world." Now, this is a short and beautiful story of two old people that have been waiting for a baby. It's not their own baby, it's not even family. But they knew there was something about God's promise that had been promised a long time ago, in the past, by prophets and by other people. You've probably heard of Adam and Abraham and the prophet Isaiah, maybe you've heard of him. Well, they all said, hey, one day there's going to be a baby born. And Simeon knew it. And God has promised Simeon that he would see it one day. So we're going to talk a little bit about promises. Now, because it's almost the new year, what many people do when the new year is coming close, the 1st of January, they think, how can I improve my next year? How can I have an even better year than last year? And they promise themselves all kinds of things. They make what you call New Year's resolutions. That means they promise themselves, I am going to do something that's going to change my life. I am going to eat less chocolate. Or for some people, it's I'm going to quit smoking. I mean, who wants to smoke anyway? But some people do. And they said, no, 1st of January, I'm quitting. I want to be healthy. Other people say, hey, I'm going to do less junk food. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to eat lettuce and tomatoes and potatoes and all kinds of things that are good for me rather than just eating chips and candy all the time. And some kids also sometimes make New Year's resolutions to say, I want to be kind. I want to be kinder to other children, even my brothers and sisters. I want to be kinder to Papa and Mama. Or I want to, when I've played with my toys and I'm through playing with it, I'm going to clean it up myself. I'm not going to let my parents do it. I'm going to do it myself. That's also a New Year's resolution. And promises that you make to yourself or to other people are important. Now, what is something that you think that you could do to make next year better? Is there something you can promise to yourself or to others like, yes, that's what I'm going to do? What we're going to do is, as you think about it, you can maybe ask your parents, your mother or your father, to get a sticky note or a post-it note. I have one here. See, this. It looks like an apple, but it's actually a sticky note, and I can write on it. I can write whatever I want on it. And so, if you get something like this, and then you write something on it, and then you can put it on, for instance, on the fridge, and it will stick on the fridge. Or you put it in your bedroom, next to you, but on your bed even. Say like, oh yeah, I promised myself to, well, whatever you promised. And um, it's a reminder that this is how you want to spend your next year. So I am going to write something down as you are thinking about it and also are going to write something down. If you find it difficult to write, you can ask your father or your mother, or you can make a picture of it. Like if you want to be kind to others, you can make a picture of someone who is kind to others, maybe in the form of a person hugging others, or you know what to do. So what I'm going to do is write something down for myself, and then I'm going to show it to you as you write something down for yourself. Okay? Okay. Here we go. I wrote it down. Do you have something yet? If you need more time, you can pause the video and write it down, and when you're done, then you can show it to your mom or your papa or whoever's watching with you. See, I wrote this down. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, it's reverse. It says more exercise. More exercise. I need to run a little bit more. I run only once a week, and some weeks I don't even. And I can tell that I am less fit than I would like to be. I mean, as a child, I would run all the time, run behind a ball. I love to play soccer or something else. But today, there's no such thing as playing soccer anymore, so I need to keep fit. So this is my New Year's resolution. I want to exercise more than I did last year, and I'm promising that to myself. Now, promise is important to keep. That's for everyone. That's for you and for me. If you promise something, you need to follow through. That goes for your parents too. If they promise, like, hey, if you do this and this, then you get to watch a movie. Now, and then imagine that you've done what they've asked you and they said, you're not going to watch a movie. You're like, wait, you promised, right? So that's important of a promise. It's not fair if you promise something and you don't follow through. Now, God knows about that. And the story that we started with Simeon and Anna is something that God had promised a long time ago. And he had promised Simeon, you will not die before you've seen the Messiah. And he knew that. So he was waiting in the temple. And when he saw Mary and Joseph come, he knew this is the Savior of the world. This is the one that God promised that I would see before I would die. And then he says, now I can die because I've seen the Savior. Isn't that something? Promises are important to God as well. He promised that He will never leave us. That means that God is always with us, always with you, whether you go to school or whether you are with your parents or whether you're alone, whether you have a good time or whether it's difficult for whatever reason. God promises, I am going to be with you. And He will never abandon His word. His promises are always true. Now that's the lesson for the day. That God is always with you and that He will follow through. I wish you all the best with your New Year's resolution, with a promise to yourself, and hope to see you next week with another children's sermon. Bye.